In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.
Tech Zone, Paul Amadeus Lane. Thank you so much for coming back after the break. Glad you didn't leave me. See, I have separation issues. See, if you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of me. Don't go. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the show. This is the Tech Zone, Paul Amadeus Lane, ABC News Radio. Don't forget, you can always check out different portions of the show, past shows, podcasts on live stream video, YouTube, all the major formats out there. Just check it out. Subscribe to the podcast as well, too. I have met some incredible people during my journey hosting the show over the last few years. And just hearing their stories, hearing their passion, really inspires me. Because you have people who step out of their comfort zone to become an entrepreneur, to really live out their dreams. And I think a lot of people deserve props when they do that. Because, of course, there's a lot of naysayers out there saying, oh, you shouldn't go into business for yourself. You should just do this and that. And they may be well-meaning. But here's the thing. Unless you try, you will always have that doubt in your mind. And let's say even if you are not successful, at least you know that you did it. You took chances. And I'm so happy that my next guest, who I met several years ago, took the chance. Because his company is incredible. It's successful. It's sustainable. I'm talking about my man, Papa Toast. He and I met each other at CES a few years back, and I just enjoyed meeting him. Matias, that's my man right there. He's a cool guy, cool guy. So let's talk about some of the things that he's doing to make our devices pop, make them look more beautiful, and some of the great things that they've been up to. And joining me right now, Matias Breacher, Papa Toast himself. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm great, Paul. Great to talk to you again.
Great to talk to you. I can't believe it's been over a year since we chatted. You and I met a few years back at CES, and I'm so happy we were able to keep in touch. And what you guys are doing over at Toast is truly amazing. I remember last time we chatted, you sent me some phone cases with the show logo. Everybody just was like, wow, this is sweet. I said, yeah, my man Matias hooked me up.
You know, we've been kind of exploring where the kind of company grows, you know, what kind of materials we use. And so, yeah, we've been just sort of branching out and trying to figure out, you know, where our fan base is and what they're interested in, you know, what kind of products they're interested in. So we've been actually playing around a lot with leather a lot. So leather covers really bring something very different to the skin world or the sort of cover world.
It sure does. And one thing I like about what you guys are doing over there at Toast, Matias, is you make our accessories look beautiful and protect it as well, too. Because all of us can have a leather or a rubber case. No, a rubber case. But what you guys do over at Toast is you customize everything. You make sure that we can coordinate with our devices. And what made you want to tackle something like that, especially for ones who haven't heard our discussion before in the past? What made you want to create something like this?
You know, I mean, it all started from this idea that, you know, you get this fancy device, this phone that's all glass and steel, but they're so fragile. You know, any little nick shows, and they're really cold materials, and I'm really fascinated with that juxtaposition of natural materials on tech. And so we started with wood covers for iPhones and sort of expanded from there into Android and laptops and gaming systems, and just kind of that adding a material to tech that ages gracefully. You know, maybe it gets a patina over time. It gets a personality as it gets, it gets darker with age and the oil from your hands and the occasional scratch and bump. You start having a more personal relationship because it weathers like your hands weather or your nice wallet or belt. And you have this relationship that can be longer term rather than just sort of a pop on, pop off, throwaway, disposable thing.
And what I like about it too, Matias, is that it's it's eco friendly. That's what I like about for the environment and things like that. What you guys are doing, and talk about how that's really a push of and kind of the core value of what you guys are doing over at Toast.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like really kind of the base of the company was when I started, I wanted to make sure it was as sustainable as possible. So from day one, we were 1% for the planet company, which means we donate 1% of sales to nonprofits working for a healthy environment. So restoring, rivers and planting trees in sub-Saharan Africa and, really trying to have a positive impact on the world. So we donate a lot of money to those kind of foundations and nonprofit organizations. And we started that really from day one before we sold the first cover and stayed true to that. So, we actually plant a tree for every single cover that we make. And I think we just surpassed 61,000 trees planted in sub-Saharan Africa. And, we do a lot of stuff just here, 100% green power, we recycle everything under the sun, minimize our waste, and really try and be good citizens of this planet. And so that's part of our backbone. It might not be something that people really know about or makes a big difference in their purchasing decisions, but it's really about, being true to who I am and who, the values that I believe in and want to kind of see out there in the world.
And we're so happy to hear that because we are stewards of this beautiful planet that was given to us. And when it comes to the different devices and the different skins that you have created over the years, how do you know which one to tackle? Because I know you first started off with phone cases, and then with the Google Hub skins and other things, and then gaming consoles. When do you know? Okay, it's time for us to tackle this device now. And what's kind of like the newest skin that you guys are looking to introduce?
Sure. So we actually depend on our customers a lot, for feedback. We actually have a device filling that out, telling us what laptop or tech they want to cover or what kind of crazy idea for a wood-covered dashboard or something they want. But so we really depend on our customers to make those suggestions. And sometimes they're things that I wouldn't have thought of or weren't even on our radar. But, if we see that kind of trending up in our list, we'll try and tackle it. And honestly, we depend on our customers too to lend us the devices because we're a small company. We can't go out and just buy every piece of tech on the floor, or on the show floor. So, we actually borrow devices from our customers, toast them, and then send them back to them fully covered.
I love it.
So yeah, your question about latest things that we're really kind of doing. PC laptop is a big part of our business. Devices that people spend a fair amount of money on and then want to protect it and they want to have it for 5 years, something that's going to last for a long time. And so we're really expanding our laptop offerings. We just recently launched the new MacBook Airs, Surface Books, Surface Pros, in both wood and leather. I think we're working on the HP Spectre right now, the latest 15-inch. So the laptops are definitely getting a lot of our attention these days, as well as just trying to keep up with the newest phones.
And these I love when you say you send it back to you toast it and send it back to them. I love that because you
Mhm.
are a Papa Toast. So and just the craftsmanship of it is amazing, and the technology that you guys use to do it. As a matter of fact, you are talking to me right now from Ground Central, Ground Zero.
Yeah.
I mean, where everything happens, and just talk about just when you realized this was something you would be able to do, especially when it comes to accessories. Was it something that you played around with and said, I can create this beautiful custom case for me and my family, and I can turn this into a business? When did you know that this was possible?
I always was kicking around for wanting to do a project on Kickstarter back in the early days of Kickstarter. And, I sort of had an opportunity to some time to concentrate on something like that. And I just bought an iPhone 4 and I couldn't bear to put a plastic case on it. Just seemed like it was this beautiful design thing that was super slim at the time, but so fragile. And so I had access to a friend's laser engraving machine back when they were extremely expensive, um, and started playing around with cutting wood veneers, laser engraving and cutting. Not typically what you would use a laser for, but seemed like a cool fit. And then from that, quickly figured out that you could easily customize. I mean, with a laser machine, the cool thing is it's this sort of completely flexible manufacturing machine. There's no mold or stamp or expensive thing that you have to buy. Whatever you put in the CAD, pretty much you can cut. Um, and so that sort of made this opportunity to add your name, personalize things, and it kind of spiraled from there. So, I launched the business on Kickstarter, enough to buy my first laser engraving machine. And Kickstarter got, we had 300 backers, so we already had a customer base, and we got some attention from that and started distributing in Norway and Japan. And then it just kind of grew from there. And, our understanding of the lasers and the capabilities grew as well. So the product got much more complex and much more interesting. And then we got into full custom engraving where people would send a picture of their cat or their kid or their gaming avatar, and then we'd start engraving that. And often it's the customers that were pushing us to do more, get more creative, more push the boundaries of the lasers, and so it's just kind of grown from there.
And I tell you, some of the custom leather work that you guys have done is just mind blowing. We've been showing some pictures of some of the work and videos, some of the stuff that you
Thank
guys
you.
have done. It's amazing that Surface Pro, that
Mhm.
custom leather, man, that is just ridiculous in a good way. I mean, that is just super super sweet. And when it comes to pushing the boundaries, and I'm glad you brought up the very good point about listening to your customers. I think we're starting to see a shift now with companies like Toast and you at the helm of really listening to customer engagement and customer feedback. Gone are the days where companies would fit you into a mode and say, no, you have to buy it like this. It's the only way it comes. And if you don't like it, oh well. But you guys are
Right.
really listening to the customer and talk about how maybe social media has helped you to gauge the pulse of your customers. Because how do you guys feel when you
Mhm.
see like one of your customers hashtag Toastmade or hashtag Toast in one of the products that they bought from you, and their friends are like, hey, where'd you get that from? I want to get that. How does that make you guys feel?
Oh, it's great. We have very direct communication with our customers. I mean, because we're mostly selling direct to them. We're not in a store, we're in some stores, but usually a customer is coming to us direct. And so it's sort of an immediate interaction. You see a sale coming in, it goes to production, you see it on its way out, take a picture of it if it's a cool custom engraving or something. We post it up on our Instagram feed and it ships out, and any issues are directly dealt with. So we have that immediate customer interaction constantly, which is good and bad. It's but it's Usually it's great. It's awesome to have that, and we're also able to take care of problems instantly. Sometimes we'll launch a product, and we've had a few instances where there's a hidden sensor on the front of a camera on a phone that you can't see. You'd only know if you worked at the company or you were able to like fully test it. And we'll ship a product, and the customer will be like, oh, there's some ambient light sensor buried under the screen here that you might have missed, and we'll quickly like get that, make some adjustments, send them a new product to test and see if that worked, fix the problem, and then immediately change our production and get that, same day we're shipping a new product. So that interaction, that immediate feedback is really important to us making good products. I think people probably have experience buying mass market products, and it's, it's great, except it covers this, or this doesn't work with it, and that product was made, a million at a time in a factory somewhere, and they can't just change the mold and the next day be producing something different. So I think that we are, as you mentioned, e-commerce is changing, and what people are expecting from companies, and wanting personalization, that's sort of changing expectations, and social media, how they find out about things, is changing business models, and we're trying to adjust to that. It's always a challenge. The internet, e-commerce is changing on a daily basis, and there's some pretty big elephants in the room. So a tiny company like Toast, trying to compete with Amazon or Google for eyeballs is a challenge. But social media, where customers can really talk about the fact that they can call the phone number and get me on the phone and, voice a concern or make a recommendation, or makes a big difference. That's not the kind of experience that you have if you, order something on Amazon.
Papa Toast, let's give that website out so people can go check out some of these fantastical products.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. It's toastmade.com. And we're on all social media at ToastMade. So easy to find. And can't wait to talk to you again and see what you're up to next year.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. But I promise you, we're gonna do this closer. I'm not gonna hit a year next time to chat with you again. And I feel so bad that I waited over a year to chat with you this time. But we're gonna chat up with you later on in the year and see what else you guys are doing. So Matias Breacher, Papa Toast, thank you so much for joining me on the show, and great catching up with you, my friend.
Take care, Paul. Thank you.
A huge shout out to my man Matias Breacher, Papa Toast. Well, that's some cool things we watched and saw. And again, like I said, if you're just listening to this audibly on ABC News Radio, if you're just listening to the podcast, go over to the YouTube channel, watch it on live stream. I'm telling you, PaulAmadeusLane.com. You go there, you click on the tech zone, it'll take you right to the video portion of the show, so you can check out some of these great innovation, this beautiful pieces of beauty. I made that word up. That was pretty cool, man. I'm gonna give myself a hand for that. Applause that Matias and the rest of the crew are doing over there at Toast. Just some great accessories for our devices. My man Papa Toast, great to have you, my friend. Looking forward to having you back. All right, when we get back, we're going to talk about how there's innovation out there that will help enhance the TV watching experience, the gaming experience, and I'm sure you're going to love what this innovation can do. We'll be right back here with more Tech Zone. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane, and I'm glad you didn't go, that you stayed here.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.